What's up, bitches? Welcome to the House of Phil hoes. I am your host, the Boss Salad Tosser, and I'm here joined by Brittany. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoy what we have planned for tonight. Please, and thank you for the love and support. And if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button here on Twitch at the House of Phil or Rising Sun. Boom. Rave Rain Radio, do it.
Rave rain, rave rain,
Yeah.
rave rain, rave rain.
That clip will be used for the intro from now on. As soon as I clip it. here we have Chunithm. This will be the first Chunithm stream here at Rave Radio. I am streaming in the music department because no one don't know what the fuck Chunithm is. No one don't even know how to pronounce the name Chunithm or Chunithm. It's better to call it Chunithm, okay? It's better to call it Chunithm. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know there's no value. There's no value now. I mean, it wasn't before because I'm still setting this up, and Steam Lab's been a pain in the ass. Steam Lab's been a pain in the ass for the sound, same thing with the microphone here. It's not all glitching out, but it will during the stream, so I will be going back and forth to check on the video. I will be focused on the chat. Let me get the multi-stream chat going. There we go. And I bet you that was Platinum texting me right now saying, "Hey, you got no sound." I'm not gonna be looking at my phone so I can see that the mic is on. The mic is on for sure. I'm about to start testing out the sound for this game. I'm not for sure it's gonna be loud enough. Well, let's see. Here we go. I don't know why I pressed no. Let's do like a test run real quick. This is not even the camera that I wanted to use. Alright. How's it sound, people? Okay. Okay. There you go. I swear. I'm just gonna do a quick test run. I'm hoping this Dell camera stops glitching out. Otherwise, I probably gotta stop. I probably gotta stop to mess around with that. Or find another USB extension that works with the Dell. Don't fall for that clickbait that Sega is done. Ugh, I gotta explain that to folks. Sega is not out of business. I almost failed that. My clear was about to drop. Well, maybe not. I think that's my last. Oh, no, I got one more. Now forgive me, this is still a test. Alright? This camera giving me, the camera's not giving me drama, the USB is giving me drama, okay? And Sega is not going out of business, do not pay attention to that clickbait shit. Sega is still coming out with this game. This is called Chunithm, or you can call it Chuny. Alright? What is it Chunithm? No one knows. But a lot of people like this fucking game. And it's fucking awesome. Rave Radio is back. And I'm streaming this in the music category because no one don't know what the fuck this game is. It's kind of awesome. They got some dope tracks. I'm still trying to figure out the sound thing. I'm still trying to figure out the setup thing. So I'm going to be going back and forth. You're going to see my face in here like that while I'm trying to look at the chat. But this is a popular game in Japan. They just recently ended the service for their original one, and now there's a new version out, a new cabinet, a gold cabinet, as well as all this stuff being replaced. Alright? This game is pretty popular, but no one knows about it currently right now, and you can get the cabinets for pretty cheap. Currently right now, say maybe $3,500. It used to be, it went from the price of $20,000 to $10,000 to $7,000 to now the current price is $3,500, and it might drop some more. And then it's going to drop some more, and then people are going to discover this game, and then they're going to want the cab, and then there going to be no cabs. There will not be any cabs available, and then the price is going to shoot back up to $7,000. Just like with my and all that. Because that's what happened with Sega games. People find out about them way too late because no one not really promoting these games like that. No one not streaming these games on Twitch or even YouTube. Besides the people in Japan, or I should say, some of the streamers and some of the arcades in the Asian region territories. So a lot of these games won't, like, people will find out about this game when it pops up on Games Done Quick. Because that's what happens. And then there'll be another situation, just like last year doing Games Done Quick. A version of My that was hacked with English translation popped up on the stream, and that was a problem because the game already been dead for a couple of years now. Because there's a new one, My DX. I should say a couple of years, maybe a year or so. But there was a situation with that where people are like, well, it's okay. Like in this room right now, there's only, 5 of you guys in here, 6 of you guys? It's okay for the 5 or 6 of you guys to see me streaming this version of Chuny. But if it's 70,000 people, there will be a situation. Because 70,000 people cannot think that this Asian region game been hacked up. Because this might grab Sega's attention when a game that is presumably dead, that has no support, all of a sudden is being touched by people and hacked. Because they assume that everybody who had one of those cabs was just going to throw it in the landfill and not, I don't know, sell it for X amount of dollars. Because I guess that's how capitalism works. Hey, after you're done with the shit, you throw it in the trash and you don't try to sell it to make more money off of it. Especially when you're replacing it. Can you imagine if there was no such thing as car trade-ins and people just destroy their cars the second they got rid of it? There was no such thing as a second-hand market on anything. You're done with something, throw it in the trash. I think that's how Japan, or I should say the Asian region works. If you don't know, in my article, I told CC that, once these games are done, old shit. I'm just going to destroy it, and you're going to have to buy my new shit. Sorry. But that's how it works. And hey, Dan, that's North. But is it possible to buy these machines? Yes. But you got to know the right people. And you got to have something that nerds don't tend to have, which is money. To spend on this. This cab doesn't take that much room. You can take this apart. It looks huge, but it's not as bad as it seems. I can't wait to have a scene and show how to come down here. It'll be much easier to get it upstairs over the Neo Geo because all I gotta do is take off this top and just put it up there. Yep, camera. There we go, camera. But not gonna be talking anymore. Time to play some more. Make sure not to block the cinema. You know what? Let's do this. I think five something easy. Oh damn, this is getting pretty fast. Okay. That's good to know that speed gets pretty ridiculous on this game. And I can keep raising it up. Damn, 15 speed? Damn, I guess it's gotta get to 20. Try to keep up with this. Now I can play the master chart. It's gonna do this every time. Congratulations. I gotta deal with this every time. Hey, let me show you some master tutorials. I have not played a master chart yet. I think Brittany done played more master charts than I have. What? So here's the whack thing about playing these games. So the whack thing about playing these games is they require you to be online, so you can save your data. Otherwise, in order to play the master charts, you gotta play the expert chart, get an S on it, then you can unlock the master chart to play. Since this game is offline, I am stuck with what I have, and I can't save none of my data. This is how it is. about the behind the scenes stuff when it comes down to games like this. Because the next time I play, this will not be available. All this sounds hard. So I need to find what Toho I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna do this 9 plus. This looks like only a rough one. It's a 9 plus, so I'm gonna struggle. Man, that was rough. That was rough. I got a triple A. That should be a triple A. Yeah. Oh, a double A, whatever. Hey, camera, you still not acting up? Okay. All this does not matter right now. See you next play. Okay. So this game is limited by the fact that I can't play, I should say, okay. So with Chunithm, when the game is online, you get to select characters and they give you a skill boost to clear songs. Without that and without, certain characters, there's just some charge that's just you're not gonna pass. And I'm being dead serious. So the game is grinding, but it's a fun grind. And the game and the experience itself is way better online than it is offline. But when you're offline, this is what you're limited to. There's still plenty of content and plenty of stuff to play and learn in this game. However, when you get to that level where you like you don't went through the whole game. You don't played every song, played every chart, basic, advanced, expert. You know, you did the 10 plus, you did the 11 plus, you did all that. Now you got to do the masters, and I believe every chart got a master. It's going to take forever, especially when you're doing it offline, to play these songs and then play the expert and then play the master. It's like you got to do each one of them every time. And some of them you do need certain characters for a skill boost to pass. Some players will get good enough where they don't need that. But every time you try to play, and there's no online, and there's offline play, you gotta do this every time. Every time. Now, is there a way to play online? I mean, I believe the services does exist out there. But then the service exists out there, but you gotta find that out for yourself. Now, if you're a person that just wants it at home and you're fine with the way it is, yeah, this is possible. You can get this easy-ish. As long as you got the money and you know where to buy it. And the right people to buy it. Not throwing your money at whoever. I mean, if you get it secondhand from someone that been had it for a while and they want to upgrade to maybe a cabinet that's a little more clean. Theirs a little bit dirty or whatever. The cab I was supposed to buy last year got caught up in a fire. You know, this got melted and all that, and it looks pretty crisp. So if I wanted to buy, you know, sell off my burnt off cab, because that's what I would have ended up doing anyway. If I got the burnt cab last year, I would have gotten this one. I would have sold the burnt cab probably for the same price I would have got this one for, or sell it for a lower price for someone in the community that just want to play the game but don't have that kind of funds, or you know, feel like, you know what, I don't feel like dropping like $4,000 or $5,000 on this cab. If this costs, if you're selling it for $1,000, hey, I can do that. It's a little beat up, it's a little bit burned, but as long as I get the chance to play the game, that's all that matters. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible to get one of these. It's just, if it's not online, it's going to be limited. You can't save your records. You can't get characters and build them up, because what Sega did with these games, they made them more RPG-like in a fun way. RPG, well, RPG is fun. Let me rephrase that, because you know there's PSMO, you know, Fantasy Star Online, or PSO, yeah, Fantasy Star Online. So there's PSO. Well, I ain't say yeah, PSO, Fantasy Star Online, and that's fun, especially the Dreamcast version. But this is like a fun grind where it is rewarding, but you need the character to get through. You need the character to get through a lot of this stuff. Also, without that online feature, you can't get to the world end section where it's got a bunch of ridiculous, gimmicky charts and songs that are not available for regular play. Let me see what you guys are talking about in here. So, as I said, this game is limited. It's so fun to play. It's so fun and stuff to do offline with this. I'm going to be streaming this a little bit more. I'm going to be, like, you know, and it is nice to take a break from rhythm games, like, I should say, dance games. Let my body rest and chill and play, you know, something different. Because y'all can see me do dance games whenever, but this is not always happening. This is not like something I do every day. So let's keep going. Cameron, you're doing good. Oh, yeah. Okay, you got it. You know, I like the sound of it. I just like the sound. It just sounds nice. I'll probably go back to anime and feature and see what's going on in there. Alright, a nice double A, Triple A, whatever. Okay, so 9, 6, and up is triple A. Give me that purple. Every time. I'm pretty sure if I put this on a bit mode, it should be a bit mode and it will skip all this. You know what? Why not? So I'm going to fail this, by the way. I'm not ready for no 10 plus. Yeah. Nice clear, nice clear. Damn. 111 late, 37 fast. My forearm is feeling tight. So I see what Brittany was talking about when she was talking about her arm was like sore. Hey, Naoki. Hell no. But it sounds so nice. But it's not like I'm paying for this. I mean, I already paid for it. I'm about to get my abs mollywop. I'm about to go over there and check on the chat after this chart. on his face. Oh man. Yeah. Man, can you imagine that being on DDR if Naoki stayed around long enough? I shouldn't say stayed around. If Konami actually kept him around long enough for stuff like this to pop up, because he got a bunch of, actually his whole soundtrack, he released a soundtrack called Dynamite something over there in Japan a couple years back. And I believe all his stuff is on this game. From that album, I should say it's soundtrack, from that album is on this game. Can y'all imagine that still being in DDR? Can y'all imagine if you could actually put some of that stuff in to pump it up? If you guys don't know, Naoki was announced to drop some tracks for Animero back here in 2015 when Prime 1 was nearing its end. And we were all hype about it until it never happened. It had the possibility that Animero are still sitting on its tracks, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to release or not, or there might be some disagreement issues that are preventing Naoki tracks that were originally for Pump It Up to appear on Pump It Up. If I ever get a chance to have a sit down with him, I will ask him about that situation. Because I would like to know whatever happened to his songs that's supposed to be in Pump It Up. That was announced that we all got fucking hyped for, flipping chairs and tables and shit. That never happened. That never happened. Okay, let me come off the slide up here. That changed nothing. Okay. Hey, Simp, what's going on, man? And Simp, and I was telling people, I haven't told people this, but I think in the next 8 or so months, there should be, I say 6 to 8 months, the market is going to be flooded with Chunithm calves. And I was telling them that the price might drop by another $1,000. So right now you can pick up a Chuni calf for $3,500. It might drop down to $2,000 or so, or a little bit more. Because the market is going to be just flooded with these. Because in Japan, you guys don't know, they had the option of a bunch of the arcade outlets. Shockingly, arcade outlets still exist in Japan, but a bunch of the arcade places had the option to just upgrade their tuning cab that they already have. And what comes with the upgrade is getting rid of these sliders and getting rid of the ground slider. Okay? And he was going to get a new one to replace all this stuff because that's how the game is now. New shit, new everything, go. And of course this get replaced as well. Apparently, a lot of the arcades in Japan, because a lot of the arcades have had their original cab since the game first came out. And that was years ago. We're talking about a cab that is probably, 7, 8 years old now. So you would think, all right, they only going to, I don't know, knowing they're going to be trying to buy a new cab, everybody's going to just upgrade their cab. No. Apparently they were like, fuck all this. Give us that new shit. We're just going to toss these out. Which, okay, some of us thought, all right, because when I purchased this cab was still worth like 5 G's. You know what I'm saying? So I bought my cab at a out, and then the price for these dropped even more. And you know, Ken Chan was coming up to me and said, "Oh man, you know, it dropped more. I'm sorry." I'm like, "That's the nature of the business." You know, I wanted one of these, and I got the cab at one price, and then the cab dropped. And what I mean by drop, I mean it dropped dramatically. Like I got this cab when the price got lower, and then actually it was only a week apart from when I bought this cab, and the cab dropped like another $2 or $3 grand. And Kenji was like, "I'm sorry." Yeah. I'm like, "Man, I ain't tripping." You know, I can't sit in my cab is real nice. It's a nice cab. It's a nice cab. But I can't sit there and get mad or beat myself up that the price dropped dramatically within a week's time. That's what happens when you buy something secondhand. You don't know how the market's gonna work. And you don't know how dramatic that it's gonna change like that. But yeah, Simp, I'm hoping in the future, sometime later on, because this game is hot. People gotta understand this machine is not at round one yet. Round one about to start having these in all their round ones out here in the USA in the next 30 to 40 days. So people that don't know about this game yet, they're about to find out about it. And then they're going to see how tall it is, how much space it takes. Because, you know, this cab is about 7 foot. This marquee, you can take this off, but this cab is about 7 foot. I want to say 7 feet or either 7 feet exactly or maybe 7'3". Between 7 feet and 7'3" and 7'2". All right, it's not that wide. You know, getting it into your spot is not that difficult either. Yeah, you can also take off this. I wouldn't recommend it because this little metal piece up here keep the cab closed off. Otherwise, this will flap like some wings, especially when you're moving and doing all that shit. But as I said, you don't necessarily need this, so it cuts the height probably down to 6'7", give or take. All right. And I am telling folks right now, if you're interested in getting one of these, because Japan is getting rid of these. They're like, yeah, fuck this. We buying all the new cab. Make sure you hit up Boss Kenshin, because otherwise you can buy because if you go to Bai, you Google up Chunithm, that is Chunithm. Not Google it, but you put it in your search. There'll be cabs that are popping up. These cabs at one point were $1,000 over there. With translation of dollars, they are about $800 to $700 for one of these. Now, mind you, it's $700 to $800 in Japan. That's not including shipping. That's not including freight. That's not including customs and all that. So I'm just giving you an example of how much these cabs cost. Because a year ago, around this time, these cabs in Japan will still worth $4,000 to $5,000. And now, 12 months later, these cabs are only worth not even $1,000, like $700. Because there's so many now that have been flooded the market, and there's so many parts. Like you can buy a combination of these two with the slider and this for a little bit over, I say, barely $150, or that'll be 17,000 yen in the Japanese money, Japanese currency. Whereas before, just this slider right here alone, you would have to drop like $300 to $400 for the slider just by itself. And now you can get one easily for $100, $100 US dollars. Okay. So Boss Kinchan is still taking, like, you know, listen to people request if they want the cab. And I'm gonna sit here and say the same thing that was said about other cabs that people wanted, that people sat on, they slept on, and they didn't really go out and try to get a cab until it was too late. Crossbeats, example of a cab that people wanted, but they didn't buy it and they just sat there and slept on it. And then Kinchan gave the warning like, hey, these cabs are drying up in Japan. You need to grab one now. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to purchase one anymore. And sure enough, when the market dried up, these cabs which was worth like no more than maybe $1,000, went up to $4,000 because you can't find them nowhere. Now, you probably find it off a previous owner that just want to get rid of it for $500, but the chances of that is low. Same thing with Mizeki. Mizeki, the cab, if you read the article off the wire, that's the cab that CC got. And CC got hooked up. She got the VIP treatment. I didn't even make a profit off that, okay? She got the nice treatment. But usually that cab, you're dropping $3,000 to $4,000 on it. All right. I took off money off the cab. I took an L on that cab. This is before any mention of an article. It's just, since I've been following her and I'm a fan of her stuff, I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll take some $100 off of this shit. This is not even about the profit. Just someone that's a writer that's interested in the game. You know what? Fuck it. I'll hook you up. I'll take an L. I'll take an L for you. Because I know your shit. I read your shit. Alright? And it's nice to see someone that's not like in the community, but you know, they just want the machine for themselves. But before, that cab was only worth $700. And then next thing you know, the whole market got dried up because it either got turned to bishy-bashi or, you know, it got trashed. Nobody didn't bother to buy these cabs until, well, people got interested in it, and there's folks like Kenny who's doing his thing, and he's bringing a whole bunch of new life to Muzeki that wasn't seen before. So the demand on getting a cab have shot through the roof now because of what he's doing. Now, what's going to happen with Junie? I don't know. I don't know how the market's going to be. But we are trying to tell folks that if you want a cab, and you know, because it always happened. It happened with My. No one didn't give a fuck about My. And essentially it was considered a trash cab until, oh shit, everybody wants this cab now. Thanks, Game Done Quick. Thank you, Game Done Quick, where 70,000 people saw this game and they were like, holy shit, this washing machine. Ooh! You know what I'm saying? And now everybody wants the cab. And apparently no one don't want the Chinese bootlegger one, because we learned that from the Catholic auction this weekend, where one was sold for $1,100. It had My orange in it. And people were looking at that cab, and they were like, man, that shit looks weird as fuck. I mean, I'm gonna buy it, but it looks weird. Some people are waiting around for like the perfect nice cab. It's a long shot, okay? buildings. So all the arcade buildings will say Ganga or G-I-G or G-I-G-N-A, G-I-N-A, whatever. This is already going to be a thing because Sega sold off 85% of their arcade stock, the arcade building stock, and let me make myself clear. There's the arcade building with the Sega name and logo on it, and then there's arcade games like this where they're still making money and a profit. Okay? There's also two different arcade divisions within Sega, if you don't know. There's Sega in Japan that's handling a money-making machine like this, and then there's the Sega everywhere else where they're offering just their name to put on said shit game. Currently, an example of this is this Jet Moto-like arcade game where it has Sega name on it, but it's not a Sega IP game. It's more like they put their name on it, their distributor, whatever. Because if it was a Sega game, I think you would see characters like Sonic or Alex Kidd or the dude from the Comic Zone, you know, some of their iconic characters, you know, the dude for Shimu, you know, you'll see their iconic characters in this particular Jet game because the Jet game is kind of nice, but no, you're picking a generic character that's no different from like a Wii character or whatever, or a Me character. So it's nothing special, it's nothing nice, it just has Sega name on it. It is possible that Sega feels that that in the rest of the market, around the world, because instead of putting out these games, which will make too much sense, they put out the name Sega, and the name Sega alone will actually have money be thrown at them. But yes, but just to be clear, Sega is out of the arcade building business. They are out of owning arcade buildings with the name Sega on it. They will continue to make games like Sonic. They will continue to make games like Chunithm. They will continue to make games like Ogeki, My, and all that stuff, as well as arcade cabinets like the P-Ross 3. They'll continue doing all that stuff until they don't have to anymore. Okay? Or they realize that it's not that good of a profit. Or, you know, it's not good of a profit. They'll pull out and sell all their shit to fucking Capcom or Nintendo or wherever fucking company, or even Gecko or whatever. They'll sell all that in their IPs. And maybe, just maybe, we might see some of these games get a legitimate release if they decide to do that. Also, another thing with Sega, when it comes down to their games online, even with round one, they have to get permission. The reason why, and I guess, you know, the Project Diva situation, I guess the Project Diva situation was more like a loophole, a cop-out, or whatever. And I guess since round one is round one, they got round one in Japan, I guess they were able to secure a network connection and get the Project Divas working over here, connected to their network. It's real interesting right now how the Project Diva situation going. Project Diva haven't been updated since 2020, October 2020. It's still an online game. It's just they haven't put out nothing in forever because Sega been focused on My in this. I think Vocaloid trash is still Vocaloid. Can't even And yes, yeah, Glitch. They getting that cheap. Well, and it goes with all cabinets. They get. Are you done yet? Okay. Even the DDR cabinets, which for the longest time you can get them for $1,000 from Japan, or $2,000. Yeah, actually, let me take that back. For the longest time, you could have gotten a DDR cabinet, a red cab, or a black SD cab, and we're talking about from Japan for less than $1,000 before the pandemic. You know, because more of the arcade shop, they are switching to the HD model. So the market was getting flooded with these SD cabinets all day, all the time. And then everybody started picking them up, and then this market was starting to dry up on the SD cabs in Japan. And that's when the value of the cabinet itself went from, oh, $1,000 to $2,000. Or I should say a couple $100 to $2,000. Like my red cab that I got in the back, I got that back here in 2017. So I'm pretty sure the cabinet coming out of Japan only cost $800. I paid 2 G's for it. Okay, so that should give you an idea. That was after shipping, handling, customs, and all that. The cabinet itself was sold to me for $2,000, which I'm pretty sure that means that the original cab itself, the price for it was about maybe $500 to $900. I'm going to guess between $500 and $900 the price for it. But that was when, well, these cabs were getting tossed out. The arcade centers didn't really care too much for these SD cabs because more and more they were moving to the HD cabs. Okay? Or, you know what, they just didn't bother to deal with DDR anymore, so they just got rid of it altogether. I don't think that's not the case with DDR right now, and that also will not be the case with the white cab, given that the gold cab is available. Most places just got rid of their SD cab, kept their white cab, and just added the gold cab to the lineup. All right. So yes, the same thing will happen here. Well, the same thing will happen here when, in a couple months, the price is going to drop. But when everybody starts buying out these cabs, or in the situation like my, and I'm using an example like Cole. Cole had a bunch of my sitting around like fucking bodies. Like it looked like a fucking morgue. Like it's a spot looked like a mortician morgue, just filled with fucking dead arcade games. And what was going on was the cabs be sitting around for so long they couldn't sell them. He couldn't sell them, didn't know how to sell them because no one didn't want them. He just started taking the cabs apart piece by piece by piece and then destroying them. Because if no one buying a whole cab, but people want pieces, where like for my more people wanted the little plastic egg shell because it breaks like a fucking eggshell. He ended up just taking a bunch of those off and just sending them off to people. And what was left of the cab is he just destroyed the whole thing, kept pieces like the screen, the button slappers, and the PCB. And you know, that's it, just move on. Everybody started going to him and hitting him up after he destroyed them. How did I know he destroyed them? He told me. You know, I'll go up there and like, oh man, we're going to do all these. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to gut them out and destroy them. He did that with a few cabs. I'm like, man, I wish I took that. He had a Toon cab that he was trying to sell for $1,500, and he couldn't sell it. Mainly because he don't know what a dead is, and I don't know what that shit is. But it was like, yeah, I'm going to destroy it. I can't sell it. But people will buy parts of it. Oh, man. Oh. And glitch. Are you guys in with the PC and all that? Okay. Let me put this out there. You will get 100% of the cab when it comes to you. And let me tell you kids something. Because I know a lot of people in the rental community might not listen to me or care too much. But they don't want to like live by example of how I got all this. I think I'm barely about to hit 70 grand on the amount of money that I spent in this arcade as a whole with all the machines. You know, this doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It just takes finding the right deals and having the right people. So you can do it. It just takes time, patience, and some hard work, and it just takes some hard work. Now, if you're in the UK, you might be UK and all that's a problem, but in the US, it's not that bad. But luckily, in the UK, we got Mega Crash handling all that. But let me get ready to play. It's been a minute. Let me stop talking. Let me get playing the game. Let me start playing. Camera, you still doing anything? not even as bad as the 9 pluses. Oh, my elbow. Ooh. I'm not gonna do dance. I need to hang out in this folder a little bit more. It sounds nice. That Brittany next to me. What's going on?
I was trying to decide if I'm gonna play this bitch shit or that bitch shit.
That bitch shit?
Yeah, because bitches play this shit, so I gotta call it bitch shit. Because it's a
Hey,
sack
bitch.
full of bitches.
Hey, bitch shit. People play this bitch shit too.
Well, I haven't encountered a triple bitch with this game yet, so it's still fine.
Well, not everyone got cabinets.
It's impossible to get a cabinet, I'm sorry. You can't even suggest or even have a thought or question someone as to if they've ever given thought to it, because that is very offensive. Because it's impossible, even when you're watching someone on their personal cabinet play it, because somehow that old ugly fuck is like some god that doesn't shit or get old and isn't gonna die someday. Somehow they're so much better than you as a human being. So God forbid you ask a question in a polite manner. It's just so fucking offensive. It's so fucking impossible. Oh my God. You know, because they wanted to say something to me, but they're going to leave it for the DMs, but their dumb ass was dumb enough to make the comment while I'm still in the fucking room. Oh, I couldn't even keep it to myself long enough until this bitch left because you're boring as fuck. Because I wasn't going to watch you talk about judo. Can't even wait to do that. God forbid.
You done yet?
No.
Now I need to bring this Britney hype down with some mellow music, some dance. Britney, you sitting here, let her talk. That's what happens.
Damn it, why you let me talk?
Damn it. See, I can't even set up my menu sitting here listening to you. Let it do realize that this is what happens when you listen to your women and your women.
Sorry.
Brittany over there like,
Well, at least they call your I'm trash, I'm trash, I'm trash. Oh God, I'm such trash. I used to be able to suck dick so well. Now I'm getting 3 grades on this song, you guys. It's because I'm old. Oh God, please, please still love me. Oh, I'm so sick of these motherfucking people. Real talk shit. They make it so unfun.
people, when you're playing Chunithm, you can dance to it too.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's people on Chunithm doing the same stupid ass shit, so I don't want to meet anyone. You get on my fucking nerves.
Brittany doing her Brittany rant. On this Brittany afternoon. On this nice afternoon, actually.
Well, if you're not gonna bitch anymore, I guess it's my go.
Oh yeah, nah, fun time. I'm not upset. Actually, you know what? Fun time. I'm not upset by the grade. I gotta get. I need to see a chart of the grading on here because, man, playing Konami's DDR for so long, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is 9.5. Okay, this is a double A. Oh, it's a triple A. Okay. Then a 9.6 or a 9.7. Oh, it must be an S. No, it's not an S. It's a triple. The grading stuff, like I said, today's like the longest I played. Brittany done played this game more than me. Today is my first time really playing, okay? So, but yeah, I've been streaming here. How long have I been on this now? Almost 2 hours. I can take a break from here because it's about lunchtime. You know what? Let me do one hard and fun time, 89. Hope you're doing well, good afternoon, or good evening to you. Depends on what time it is. I thought you started playing, or are you just doing so? Yeah, start doing your own thing. Yeah, I see the game is on. I see the game is on over there.
Huh?
No, I
You
said.
talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm talking to Brittany, and she about to get started on her step mania. You know, I'm gonna do one more set. It's gonna be a real tough set.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm irrelevant. I'm nobody. I like to keep it that way. Brittany doesn't exist.
So act like you're not here.
Well, that's what everybody else does, and I would like to keep it that way.
Don't worry, folks.
There's a triple ass bitches anyway.
Don't worry, folks.
Fuck all them people.
Don't worry, folks. I don't exist as well, and that's fine. But see, she talking
But
about.
at least B have the fucking nuts to say that shit directly to me. Let me try to act like, oh, I don't catch your stuff because I work so much and I really like you. Like, nigga, you don't like me. You're not checking for me. You a fucking bitch. You wanna follow the fucking herd. Fuck you too. I hate bitch ass, passive aggressive ass dudes especially. Like, you gonna act like a straight ass female on some passive aggressive type shit and I'm not even a dude. Like, damn, I'm not gonna whoop your ass. Fucking relax.
You might.
Sure, yeah.
That's Brittany, folks. If you don't know about that, Brittany loves talking shit. She loves to get hyped. But yeah, Brittany's talking, folks. Well, you know, I might get, you know, that's a nice way to end on that. That should be a clip. That should be a clip.
Why? So they can put it in their DMs and not say shit to me directly? Oh no, I'm supposed to put it in the DMs and have a conversation in the DMs where you couldn't see it. But at least the bitch ain't in the room. Damn. Like, at least wait until I leave. Punk ass bitches. Ugh.
See, I'm supposed to be, this is not the people, this is not the stream I hate today. I was supposed to be the one that's talking shit.
You're welcome.
Brittany time, people. This is ball salad. Woo! See, I made you laugh at that one. I like using that. See, I made you crack. probably being the most shit, being the most angry, making the most faces. And she will not be talking shit about people, she will be talking shit about the bosses that she has to face. She would not be harassing old man Sanchez about questionable ball smells.
I don't know. I mean, his wife cool with his stanky nuts, so I guess it's alright. Yeah.
Step balls not stinking all the time. It's just the feet. That is in question. Balls cool, feet questionable. That's also an inside joke. If you didn't catch the beginning of me streaming about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's from 2 years ago. That's from 2 years ago. To give you a backstory of it, doing one of my streams, and the whole stinky balls,
Ooh, I might fuck that up.
the stinky balls thing that went down. Basically, I was telling Brittany that if you had to pick, actually me, Brittany, and Alex was sitting there talking, and oh yeah, you forgot to come on the pad, didn't you?
No, I think I knocked the cord out.
Okay. We were sitting there talking, and we were talking, and I was doing like a little debate. I was like, you know what? I bet you dudes would prefer having their balls be smelly. You had to pick between feet and balls. I think a guy would probably they might pick their the balls to be stanky over their feet. A lot of and that was the assumption. So I asked Alex, and Alex was like, yeah, I think Seth, and this is all on stream. I think the stream's still available on YouTube. It might be all pixelated because my reception was bad.
It doesn't exist, okay?
But
you don't exist.
But Alex was like, I think Seth would prefer, his balls stinking over his feet. Because, having feet is insecure about the smell of his feet. But not his balls. And I was like, nah, that can't be right. So we went and talked to Seth about it, and Seth be like, oh yeah, I'd rather have my balls stinking because he said there's been questionable incidents at round one when, the smell gets out there. And some of the arcade goers thought it was the players that were smelling. And, it's not the players, it's him, his feet at the time. Because, I got the same situation. It's the reason why a lot of people see me in sandals is because I don't like foot sweat. I don't wear socks. I don't wear socks. I hardly wear socks. And I had a very, very big problem with the smell of my feet. I got like foot spray and all that, and it got to the point where I'm always in flip-flops. That's how it ended up happening with a lot of my videos. Usually when I'm driving somewhere, I just take off my shoes so I can let my feet air out. Now, the thing with Seth, the thing is with the whole thing with Seth wasn't the only person. I did this survey with other guys, with other girls in the room. And I also asked the girls first, like, all right, do you think a guy would rather have smelly balls or smelly feet? And all the females assume like, yeah, they'd rather have smelly feet because we go down there. Obviously, why would they want to have smelly balls and smelly feet? Duh. But apparently, if Brittany was here when this other survey, this also happened at the Eagles arcade. A few guys, two guys were like, oh yeah, we just have the balls. I can handle my balls. I'd rather have the smelly balls over the smelly feet. And I was like, holy fuck, really?
No.
it's not as bad as the dew that is rubbed down there. Smell. Alright? Anyway, I'm gonna take a break because look at the time. It's almost been 2 hours. You know what? Because Brittany's doing her music thing, and I don't want the stuff to cross over. I'm using the mic. I'm using the Yeti mic. I'm still waiting for my mic cord to come in, because the other mic that I was using for the DDR the other day, it's dead. It kind of collapsed on itself.
I'm not bothering you. I turned it down.
Oh no. I'm about to end it anyway. It's 2 hours. But because I had to use that mic, because you see the mic over there?
Mm-hmm.
You see how it's just hanging off like the 3 plugs? Apparently the DDR string it got worse for me touching it.
Oh.
And my new plug comes in today.
Oh, that's dope.
But the mic, I was hoping to use that mic, but that mic is like I try to plug it in and it just falls off now.
Oh.
So it's time. And then when I try to use it on Steam Labs, you know, there's nothing coming out of it. So I'm gonna assume that